So from the very beginning, one of the things I said I wanted to do here with Appalachian Mountain Riders is bring you guys actual machine reviews. Now I've managed to do a couple in the past, but by and large right now that has not been a big part of my channel, and there's a couple reasons for that. First off is if I went backing from the OEMs like Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, Can-Am, then the simple matter is my channel needs to be big enough that they can see I have a big enough audience to make it worth their time, their money to send me machines to review. And the second thing is, there are a lot of reviewers out there on the old interweb, especially on YouTube. And I don't want to be someone that does the same old things we see time after time with all them reviewers. And although it would be real easy for me just to shoot a couple scenes of me riding through the woods in the machine, give you my opinions on how it rides and how it performs, that really doesn't show you much, especially when it comes in terms of comparing it to other models, because most of the time when you guys are looking at reviews online, that's because you have a couple different machines you're looking at buying, and so you want to compare the two. So I wanted to come up with a different system that you'd be able to watch, look at, and have hard data to compare one machine to the other. So for a few minutes today I'm going to go over my new review system for you guys, show you what I'm going to be looking at, how I'm going to grade machines. That way when I do a review we can hop right in, because you guys already know what it's going to be about. So what I've done is come up with a point-based system that'll hopefully give you guys a better way to compare machine versus machine. So each machine I review from here on out is going to be judged in 4 main categories: styling, performance, comfort, and other. So the first area I'm going to look at on the machine I'm reviewing is going to be styling. We're going to look at the front profile, the side profile, and the rear profile separate. We'll also look at the interior as far as the styling of the interior, how's the fit and finish everything, what kind of materials did they use, are they nice high quality plastics, are they cheap hard feeling plastics, and how functional is the layout of everything. And that may seem like a minute factor to you guys when you're deciding what you want to buy, but if you ever spend any time reading the comment section of any YouTube reviews out there, people are very opinionated on what a machine looks like. Now the biggest and most extensive category I'm going to have in my review is comfort. A machine can have all the performance in the world, but if it's not comfortable to be in, then you're not going to enjoy your ride very much. So for each machine, we're going to rate comfort on several different areas. Driver comfort, in which we'll look at how comfy is the seat, how's your seating position, are you way forward, are you way lean back, are you down low in the machine, do you sit up on the machine, how's your leg room, is there room to stretch up or do you feel all cramped? Steering wheel position, can you find that absolute perfect spot for the steering wheel? And we even look at the seat belt position, you know, your stock seat belt, is it up here choking your neck as you're riding down the trail? Is it set nicely on your shoulder out of the way? After several hours, does it start digging in here at your waistline? And for your passengers, how's the seating position for them? Leg room? How's the handholds they have to brace themselves when you get a little crazy going down the trail? And especially on your multi-passenger vehicles like this Wolverine X4, what's it like for the rear passengers? Do they feel cramped? How's their leg room? Do they have a nice seating position where they're not going to get tired within 10 minutes of riding? We're also going to look at in-cab heat. After hours and hours of riding, is it going to sweat you out to the point where you feel like you're a sumo wrestler in the heat of a battle? Or does it stay nice, cool, and comfortable to where you can ride all day and not have to worry about bringing an extra pair of underwear to change into? Because there's nothing worse than having to ride around in a pair of soggy underwear. We're also going to take the noise of the machine into consideration. We're going to break out the old decibel meter, see how loud the engine is at idle, under acceleration, and under steady trail riding. And then finally, we're going to look at the vibration levels of the machine. When the engine's running, whether you're cruising or setting at idle, does the whole machine just rattle and shake apart? Or is the engine well balanced where you don't get a lot of vibration and you don't get a lot of squeaks and creaks and rattles out of the machine? And once we rate all those separate categories, we'll average them together to get a total overall rating of the comfort level of the machine we're reviewing. The next category we're going to look at is the one that most of you is probably going to have the most interest in, and that is machine performance. Now, of course, we're going to do your standard test, like seeing how fast the machine will go from 0 to 30 for acceleration, see how well machine's brake work by doing a 30 to 0 stopping distance, we'll see how the machine handles the corners. Now, to go along with that, we're also going to look at things like how does the machine handle slow speed riding? How does it handle high speed riding? Does it bounce you around in the situations, or does it glide nice over whatever you encounter on the trail? And speaking of trails, since we are on the East Coast in the Appalachian Mountains, we're going to grade each machine on just its general trail ability. Is it too wide where it has a hard time fitting on the trails we have here in the mountains? Or is it underpowered where it doesn't climb the hills very well? We'll look at the feel of the steering, including how many turns it takes to get from lock to lock, so you know how easily it is to maneuver in tight trails. And we'll also check the real world turning radius, so you know what you have to work with if you get out in some thick, narrowy stuff and you have no choice but to turn around. And of course, if the machine comes with 4-wheel drive, you know we're going to get in some mud and test that out as well. And then finally, to finish up our performance testing, I have 2 timed trails we're going to run each machine on. The one trail is going to be a narrow, windy trail, and it's going to be used to test the machine's maneuverability. So the goal of this trail is not going to be to simply fly through as fast as you can, but rather to see how well we can maintain a constant speed in our machines. The more we have to slow down to maneuver around stuff, the less well it's going to perform, and the higher our time is going to be. And using the Pioneer 500 here as kind of the benchmark to set the tests, we're going to work on maintaining a 12-mile-an-hour speed through this whole course. And of course, the second track is going to serve as our high-speed trail, in which we're not going to worry about maintaining speed. We're pretty much just going to put the pedal to the floor and see how fast we can make it through. Overall, it's about 0.8 of a mile. It has a few windy, twisty turns in it that we'll have to maneuver around. But for the most part, it's just open, and the only goal is to simply get the best time we can get. And then our final category to finish up our reviews will be the quote-unquote other category, where, well, we look at other things. Things like ease of maintenance, and how easy is it to check things like your air filter and your oil that you should be checking every day before you ride. Look at how many places there are where you can stick all your junk, from center consoles to glove boxes to any other little nook or cranny that we're able to shove whatever we have into. As well as looking at the bed space, as far as how much room is there, how much stuff can you fit in, how functional is it, does it dump, is it stationary, what all can you do with the bed of the machine. Then any other machine-specific feature will fall under this category. For instance, Polaris's ride command. Now yes, that has to do with performance, but that's something that's only offered on certain models of Polaris, so that we're going to throw into the other category as well. And once we're done going over the machine with a critical eye, the score of each area in each category will be averaged together to give us a total of each of the 4 main categories we're looking at. And with a total of 10 points in each of our 4 main categories possible, they will be added up to give us a final overall score out of a possible 40 points. Now, when doing reviews on ATVs like this old Suzuki King Quad 300, we will have to tweak a few things here and there, such as obviously we don't have a steering wheel, we have handlebars. So instead of looking at steering wheel position, we'll be looking at, how does the handlebar placement put your body? Does it lean you way back? Do you feel like you're way forward? Are you way stretched out? Are you comfortable? We'll look at things like how well do the floorboards keep your feet planted? How easy can you move from side to side for high-speed maneuvering? But by and large, every test we do for a side-by-side will remain unchanged for an ATV. So my goal with this new review system is to be able to bring you guys the most in-depth and comprehensive ATV and side-by-side reviews on YouTube. With the things I've mentioned I'm going to cover, as well as a couple little other things I'm going to look at, which I'm going to keep secret for now, I feel I'll be able to accomplish this goal. So now it just comes down to the matter of being able to get machines to my property to review for you guys. But you guys can help in that by contacting your favorite manufacturer and letting them know you want to see Appalachian Mountain Riders bring you in-depth and comprehensive reviews of their machines. And the easiest way you can do that is to share this very video here on all your social media feeds with the hashtag AMR Review Time. And as always, I am open for any suggestions you might have as to what you'd like to see me do with machines I do get to review. And you can do that by simply commenting below or shooting me an email at AppalachianMountainRiders@gmail.com. And until next time, keep on riding. Appalachian Mountain Riders is brought to you in part by the following. The Honda Side-by-Side Club, because who knows the machines better than the owners that use them every day. Walker Evans Racing. When the path requires more than just ordinary, head on over to WalkerEvansRacing.com. Torque Locker from Torque Masters Industries. When you want to explore the unexplored, head on over to TorqueMasters.com. And by my gracious supporters on Patreon.